I know, I'm trash, I'm bad, I'm the one that just doesn't get it. Chance the Rapper came up with a new album last Friday, and it was called The Big Day. And I went back and I listened to some of his old work in preparation for this new project, tapes like 10 Day, Acid Rap, Coloring Book, and the sort, in order to refamiliarize myself with his style, with his discography, seeing if I could expect anything similar on this new project over here. I don't think it's that far of a stretch to say that as Chance the Rapper fans, we expected this to kind of be his best project, it being his first album. And some of the appeal of Chance the Rapper, in my opinion, is his clean-cut kind of attitude. He's kind of like the Bill Cosby of hip-hop, but without the rape, meaning that he's always preached a message that people could easily get behind. Tie that into a very bubbly, eccentric, pretty zany vocal delivery, and it's like listening to a grown-up Rugrat. The theme of Good Day is very tight-knit and family-oriented. He talks about everything from his marriage to his issues with the industry, to his marriage, to the closeness of his family and how they need to stick together, to his marriage. I love that this album feels pretty nostalgic and like a retelling of a really long story, even though it hasn't been that long, and Chance the Rapper is only 26, keep in mind, and independent. I'm sure it's a lot for him to wrap his head around, and accomplishing so much in such a short time from a realistic point of view seems like it would take much longer. He's clearly well beyond his years and experience when it comes to the success of the average rapper. Some of the content addressed on this project wouldn't be tackled by most rappers until they'd already hit their 30s. And on Big Day, Chance is trying to verbalize the emotions going through his head on his big day, his wedding day. And I guess that's partly where my issue with this project starts. Chance with his popular tapes early on seemed to have cemented himself as a star that would only keep rising and growing. Acid Rap seemed to delve into the world of an adolescent fascinated by drug experimentation and dealing with the life in Chicago, while Coloring Book seemed to be this very anthemic, gospel, very uplifting take on everything that Chance had already experienced up until that point. A very large, grand project that explored a broader take of what mainstream hip-hop had to offer at that time. But on Big Day, there isn't really anything tying the project together by way of any specific sound or lyrics consistent enough that they would tie the songs together that well. The album feels like a preparation of a life to come more than any kind of detailed perspective of the transitions between a young single man to successful family man, which makes some of the album come off more like a bachelor party afterthought. Like Chance can sum up his entire single life into just having sex with a few girls and then meeting the one that he would end up spending the rest of his life with forever. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy that Chance the Rapper is happy in his current situation, but the guy got married in March this year, and he's already putting out a marriage review. I think you can sit with this one for a while before writing about it. So it makes some of the comments in a lot of these songs when he talks about the true love that he might have for his woman right now, or how love and God are the central theme of their relationship, makes it feel more like a forced narrative than an experienced one. The lack of cohesion here is felt mainly throughout the production, as we get styles from 2000s pop, 90s R&B, electro, old style hip house, gospel, trap. Do you remember his very elated, pretty gleeful, nostalgic track about Chance talking about the things that brought him to the point that he is right now? This Cloud9 experience is supported by Justin Vernon to make for a pretty beautiful track. On the track We Go High, Chance kind of addresses himself and his ego, saying he needs to go higher than himself and everything around him in order to get back with his then girlfriend and now wife, and how God ended up being a central theme for what ultimately led him to that decision. I think the piano beautifully sets the stage for this track for introspective Chance, and I love the lyrics behind it. The first skit on this project features John Witherspoon, whose voice is extremely recognizable and so beautiful nowadays to hear on any album, where he settles a conflict between two brothers. Even though it's not about those two, the next track, Rue, kind of follows the narrative in saying that they have a very tight-knit relationship and it won't be broken by anyone. I love Chance's line, "We come in peace, we don't come in pieces," meaning we're not broken. And Taylor's "This deeper than music. I got PTS for life, so if you on production, just make sure the drums is right." The D for PTSD. You know, I like it. I like it. 4 Quarters in the Black is the second skit that talks about how important it is to keep your family around, how important it is never to become complacent, and how important it is to nurture your seeds. Saying a blessing or an opportunity goes wasted on those who don't. Basically emphasizing the importance of a plan. And then the next track comes 5-Year Plan, where Chance actually goes into some more detail about things that he needs to do himself, and kind of, in my opinion, some advice to newer acts out there that might be going down the same path. Only issue with this track is it devolves again into Chance talking about his marriage. And I love Smino's pretty drunken, pretty woozy, pretty faded verse on Eternal, a track about how quick fucks aren't the move and, you know, they need something more permanent. Not at all a surprise that Chance will be talking about how one night stands aren't his thing, as again another homage to his marriage. Another track about his marriage on this album is I Got You, that features these really poppy, bouncy vocals from Lennox that I really enjoy. A track about rejecting outside influences and opinions about his relationship. So let's cut the shit here, okay? If you wanted to make the best songs on this album, you'd be stuck with pretty much a mini EP of great songs. I honestly wish that Chance was signed to Good Music last year, so maybe we could have gotten a 7-track masterpiece, but that's out the fucking window. Like I said, you can make a case for there being enough content on this project for there to be a mini EP that might be pretty good. But after that EP, there's still like 45 minutes to an hour of other content. What do I do with that? Not only does the best of the worst of that other content feature themes that are so similar to the best that this album has to offer, it's extremely surprising that there are like 5 to 6 other extremely terrible songs on this album. Hot Shower is awful, and I get it. Chance isn't taking himself too seriously. The track is fun, it's laid back, it's bouncy, it could be a TikTok meme, who knows? You know what else this track is? Awful. Chance sounds goofy as hell rapping over this thing. MadeinTYO is doing his best Playboi Carti impression, and DaBaby is the saving grace for this track. I am so shocked. Smoking green cauliflower. What the fuck? Get a bag. Literally nothing needs to be said about this track. Sun Come Down is a confirmation of his marriage to his wife. Found a Good One. Another confirmation of his marriage to his wife. Chance, I get it. You're married. Let's Go on the Run features Chance delivering his best Trippie Redd impression. And there's only so much bad singing I can pass off as authentic on this project just because Chance has a very animated style and vocal delivery. I think the mixing on this album is great, but that could be to the detriment of his singing because when he does go into that very raspy upper register of his voice, it sounds like taking nails to a fucking chalkboard. I think the tracks Handsome featuring Meg Thee Stallion and Big Fish featuring Gucci Mane are actually pretty decent and they can be listened to. But I think Chance is severely outshined by his features, and whenever he tries to deliver a hook on this project, it's just weak. To be honest, Chance is outshined by most of the features on this project. Either his brother, DaBaby, Meg, Gucci. Whenever he's featured with an artist, he just goes into the background immediately. But I don't think anything is as egregious as the track Ballin, Flossin. I know Chance has zero issue going pop and being this extremely clean, cookie cutter act. He clearly did it 6 years ago on the track Confident with Justin Bieber, but blatant pop rap on your debut album is just crazy to me. The song is so disgustingly clean, from the incredibly safe Brandy sample to Shawn Mendes' low sung, very boring delivery. What is this song even about? Ballin'? Oh shit, I never would have guessed. We're honestly talking about peanut butter jelly time in 2019. Peanut butter jelly time. This song is like going to a Christian strip club. Nuns walking around everywhere and taking showers in fucking bathing suits. And yes, this album does end with Chance the Rapper once again telling us how he met his wife and how they're married now, and for some odd reason ends with a Nicki Minaj verse. I know her verse goes along with the idea that anything is possible as she details her life being an immigrant and how anything is possible. But the way Chance has painted the relationship on this project up until this point, there really was no other possible outcome but for you to be married to this fucking woman. And I also understand the Our House skit and how the importance of family and the strong foundation of God can lead to a very well put together family where children are actually happy and have a refuge in the family to go to. They don't have to be split and separated and scattered. But I don't know why we couldn't have just gotten a real little girl to voice the part of a real little girl. Why we needed the voice actress who plays Susie off the Rugrats, the most recognizable voice in all voice acting history in my opinion. Why we needed a grown woman to voice a little girl and it sounds like a grown woman voicing a little girl as opposed to a little girl. Makes the voice acting come off less cute and more creepy to me. You have to keep in mind the length of this album, the amount of songs on this project, and the simplicity and the lack of depth that a lot of these songs have make getting through the entire album a chore more than an enjoyable listening experience for me. This album gets crazy, inconsistent, and spikes in terms of album quality, content, and ability multiple times. The title track is an acoustic ode to his wedding ceremony, but with vocals from Chance the Rapper screaming halfway through, I'm not going in there. I don't even want the cake. I don't want your food at the reception. But simply, this Chance the Rapper album to me, Big Day, is just extremely disappointing. After everything that he's put out in the past, it being cohesive, it following a theme, it having a narrative, to get this project that you would think would have the most incredible writing leading up into how they got married, maybe, as opposed to a bunch of tracks talking about the fact that they are married. If you have an album titled Big Day, I don't know why the wedding theme and ceremony wouldn't just be set until the end of the project and you talk about things leading up into this that make the listener invested in the relationship. I'm not invested into this. You're just talking to me about how much you love your wife. Chance, we don't know her. I know they've been together for a while, but the lack of length in his actual marriage makes the whole God-love narrative here so forced, in my opinion. Obsessed with the idea of a successful marriage. The album just seems really pop, really clustered with these really safe ideas. I'm happy for Chance the Rapper that he's happy and he's got a successful marriage, but this album to me just does not hit any places creatively, and it definitely doesn't hit any places when it comes to introspective writing, any kind of emotional depth. Like I said before, I think if you took the best tracks from this album and put them on a separate EP, you might actually have something entertaining, but just as an album itself, I think this thing fails. That's how I'm feeling on it. Chance the Rapper, The Big Day. Thank you for watching. Let me know what thoughts you have about the project in the comment section down below. I'm curious to hear them. Hands up, don't shoot. Just let me know how you feel about it, and that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'm gone. Peace.